Hello, listeners. It's Brady. Just before you get into our preview of the Sheffield United game, just to let you know there is some connection issues we had when recording, so you might hear one or two little jumps. Apologies, try to edit out where they can, but I hope it doesn't ruin your enjoyment of our fabulous, fabulous podcast. Anyway, here it is. Enjoy.
Christopher Schindler has a chance to write his name in Huddersfield Town legend. And he takes that chance!
Hello, remember us? Oh, God, I already got it wrong straight away.
Welcome back.
We'll keep it in. We'll keep it in. It's been so long, listeners. It's been too bloody long. It's been 29 days since the last Town game. But me stumbling over my words, it's a classic. It is me, Brady Frost, your host. It's warm-up episode 91. And I'm joined by my co-host, my friend, my pal, my sweet cheese, Tom Bradshaw.
Hiya, Brady, mate. How are you doing? You all right?
I'm good, yeah, Tom. It's nice to chat to you because we'll let the listeners in on a little secret. But this is just strictly a business relationship. We don't speak to each other unless we're doing a podcast.
Exactly. It's been nice not to speak to you for 4 weeks or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone can avoid speaking to me for some time, they count themselves lucky. But I don't really want to talk about Town, Tom. We were saying this before we came on. You've been enjoying the World Cup?
Do you know what? I actually have been enjoying the World Cup. I didn't know if I would enjoy it. I'm not getting excited yet, and I think that's down to it being in winter. But I'm enjoying watching I'm enjoying football being on, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Ease on BBC. That's been nice, but it's a very strange one. I don't think they should rush back to do a Winter World Cup anytime soon, though. I'm just not. I mean, in England are doing great, and I'm just not that excited about them. Don't know why. I don't know if it's down to that. Yeah. What about you?
I mean, I enjoyed 4 games a day. That was good fun. I've got to be honest though, I'd always struggled with the fourth one, like 10 o'clock game, perfect, on in the background while you're doing a little bit of work. But yeah, then you get to 7 o'clock and you are quite football fatigued. But to be honest, mate, it's been nice to, I don't know, back a team that actually wins.
Yeah, that's true. Although Brady, Town are unbeaten in like 5 weeks, technically. So
True. Well, maybe we should enjoy it because I'm not sure if they are going to be unbeaten in 5 weeks. Who knows? Who knows? I suppose let's get into it then, shall we? In between getting annoyed at Brazilian players samba dancing and all this. It's been I was at the Swansea game, which was 29 days, or there've been 29 days since Town last played when they take to the field on Saturday at Bramall Lane. I was at that game and I completely forgotten about it until I was doing my notes, which I think says it all. But I tell you what, I would like to forget, but unfortunately, it's staring us all in the face. Sorry to come in with the negativity, but we're still bottom of the league, 19 points from 20 games, 4 points off safety. Meanwhile, our opponents on Saturday, Sheffield United, they're second in the league. They've got 38 points and they've won 4 of the last 5. However, Tom, does form really matter when you've been off? For time? Who knows? Do you think I suppose this is the question. Do you think the break will have helped Town?
I think out of the 2 teams, the break will have helped Town more than Sheffield United because they were already on their roll. Town have needed this. Matt Fotheringham has needed this. It's quite big for him, I think, to be honest, because now he's had 4 weeks pretty much with most of the squad only Sorba not there. So like he's had time to bring in any philosophy or ideas that he really wants to bring in. So I think for Town, massive for them. Sheffield United, I don't think it should particularly make any difference. It might hinder them potentially not playing for they might have been on a roll. So I don't know. I do think out of the two teams, that Town would benefit the most from it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, to be honest, like more time on the training field is no bad thing. Obviously playing against Olympiacos and Marcelo, that is the weirdest picture I think I've seen Marcelo and Dwayne Holmes together. You know, they always say that their time on the training pitch counts. The only thing I would say is this feels like it's put a lot of pressure on Mark Fotheringham because he's had over 10 games now in charge. It's all been thick and fast. I think we have seen the results improve since he took over from Schofield, but I don't. It feels like he has to start, like we said, with 4 points off safety, he has to kind of start getting a run together and travelling away to the team second in the league. It's tough, isn't it? And it doesn't get any easier. Watford after, so God, I'm getting deja vu talking about the situation for Town, but we will see. What I was going to ask, what did you think of the appointment of old Kenny Miller and Paul Harsley's gone? We hardly knew you, Paul. What here for like a couple of months as the assistant manager, and then you've gone.
Because he even put a tweet out, Paul Harsley, where it came across he was a bit disappointed that he's gone. So I'm guessing it was a Fotheringham wanting Kenny to come in. I'm just saying it's got to be that Scottish link, can it? So I don't know. It's an interesting one. It could be good because the one place we have struggled is scoring goals, and Kenny Miller was pretty decent, wasn't he? So hopefully he'll bring something to that front line. But then you've already got two experienced strikers. I don't know what. I wonder if they're going to give him some game time. Maybe. How old is he? 42.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. We do love an older striker, don't we? So why not get him playing?
Yeah. I think what we could see in January is you might see some young Scottish talent coming in potentially with the links there. Hopefully, something he's got to know people, hasn't he, Kenny Miller? So you hope he might have something up his sleeve.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what he's like as a coach? The only thing I did see when the news was announced was loads of fans who watch Scottish football saying, "Oh, I'm glad he's not a pundit anymore." So, what can you really go on with that? I mean, yeah, just look into this one though. Again, doing our research into this, I've been trying to be distracted by the World Cup, but thanks to the Championship chat who pointed this out. Huddersfield have picked up the fewest points away from home so far this season with 5 points. The next teams are Millwall and Bristol City with 9. Do you see them getting a result on Saturday? The only thing I would say is I feel like it's almost because of this break, we don't know how teams are going to come back out. It's in a similar way. It's a little bit like lockdown, except like they've been able to, they have a time, like it's a set time. I almost feel like it could. To be optimistic, it could be a bit like, first day of the season. Like everyone could be trying to get settled back into it potentially. And who knows, Town could get something. I mean, we did win there 2-1 against the odds at the time last season. But what do you think, Tom?
I think you're right. It could surprise us. I mean, a lot of results. It's going to be so interesting, isn't it? Seeing what results come in on Saturday. But it's going to be very difficult. They are, arguably, I mean, they could even be the best team in the league, I think, this season. I think I'm actually quite surprised with Heckingbottom. I didn't think he would continue being any good. Do you know what I mean? Or it might be just a bit of a blip last season. So fair play to him. They've got some quality players, haven't they, as well? It's going to be so difficult, but you never know, do you, Brady? I don't feel confident saying anything because I honestly don't know what's going to happen with this 4 weeks away.
Yeah, which is why it's good that we do a preview pod on it and we have no idea what's going to happen. I think it's weird though, isn't it? It is hard to predict. I think the only thing again, let's try and be positive because it looks pretty bleak coming back into it. Refocusing. Town have been a lot better defensively. I know remembering the Swansea game as much as I would be remiss to ignore if possible, but like we are a lot more solid defensively, under Fotheringham. So who knows? This could be a real solid defensive display, and I think it's a classic that could really play into Town's hands because you come back, I think if they win and results go their way, they're back top of the league, and if we can really frustrate them, could get something, could be the start. Last season we were talking about HMS piss the league. HMS stay in the league could be up and running, Tom.
Yeah, hopefully. I think you've got to give him credit for that. You're right. Especially the last two games before the break, actually looks semi-decent. They did what they had to do against Swansea. I don't think the way Swansea play, you couldn't really do much else if you're trying to get something out of it. So, and they could have nicked it, couldn't they? So I think maybe they're trying to be more tactical. Maybe we'll see maybe they will set up to play against Sheffield United's weaknesses and just keep them out and then try and nick something. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes.
Absolutely. And you touched on it earlier. They've got a lot of good players. Did you single anyone out for our key player focus?
I think I've gone with Ollie McBurney because I think this is kind of. I mean, last season he was plighted with injuries, wasn't he? So he didn't really play that much. So, and I think he's showing what they spent the money on. To be honest, joint top scorer, isn't he? Created a few as well. Good player, a lot of talent. You just got to keep your eye on him. I mean, I think there's about 5 or 6 really good players in that team who you could argue could be in Premier League bottom half, lower half. I think there's some very good players.
Yeah,
I'll list them after you've done yours, Brady.
Thank you. Oh, you clearly learnt over the break. That's good. I picked Oliver Norwood. He's just I think he's a great player. He's got 2 goals and 3 assists in the league as well. And I still think our midfield's a little bit weak. We've talked about it a lot this season, and I think he could unfortunately get some joy. He's that type of player, and if he ever wants to come back, you're welcome.
I don't think he will. Didn't Town fans fall out with him?
I mean, we fall out with current players, so don't matter. Which we'll come on to. Actually, I got a question in the old mailbox about that. But yeah, go on then, Tom. Name your others who we need to look out for.
Well, I mean, Sander Berg for me is he's too good for this league. To be honest, I don't think he particularly wants to be in it, and maybe that's why his performances haven't been brilliant. He was really good last season. I think he was expecting potentially a move or something like that. And then is it Ndai, the Senegalese guy, who's been ripping it up. I think they're hoping they get promoted because it's pretty much sounds like it's on the cards that he'll be tapped up by the end of the season. And then you just got your stalwarts, haven't you, as well, like Baldock, Egan, Sharp, that lot who just know what they're doing now to get out of this league. So it's a really well put together team, I think.
Yeah, it's got quality, and like you say, experienced heads. It's the perfect balance. Matt said it, but let's just hope Ndai's playing. Maybe he's not going to make it back in time for this game because that would help us. Or maybe he's too upset after being embarrassed by Gareth's gang, Southgate soldiers, whatever you want to call them, whatever metaphor you prefer. But Tom, we don't really know what's going on with Sheffield. Well, I say we, but you might be a bit more clued up because you spoke to a Sheffield United fan, didn't you?
I did. I spoke to Johnny, who's going to give us a lovely little lowdown on everything Sheffield United after this sumptuous World Cup break.
We've lost to a pub side. We've literally lost to a pub side.
Hi mate, thanks for joining us on the podcast. So, how's your season going?
Hi, this is Johnny from the Showroom View Sheffield United fan channel. First question I've been asked is, how do I feel the season's going so far? It were going splendidly up until everybody started dying again. Seems to be a common theme. We have, during this international break, I call it an international break, it's World Cup, innit? Don't feel like it. Anyway, back on point. We've redone all our training grounds, which should hopefully stop a lot of these soft tissue injuries from happening. We should hopefully have a lot of players back fit to keep it going. But I said at an early point that anybody who finishes above us is going to win the division. And if we've got a fully fit team, I still stand by that. But the problem is we've had a blip as of late where we've not had players fit and we've lost some winnable games. But then we come out and we beat Burnley. We sink 5 past Burnley, was it? It's so unpredictable at Bramall Lane at the moment. But I am hopeful we can make it a successful one.
Who's a standout player for you so far?
Well, any other season, Ollie Mack. Big Ollie McBurney coming back and showing why he was bought in the first place for big money. Scoring goals. He would have been our standout player. But not this season. It is the one, the only, Iliman and I. He has been sensational. People said we were going to miss Morgan Gibbs-White this season. Morgan Gibbs-White this season. No. We've got a player that's, in my book, twice the player he is. Or at least potentially, in Iliman and I. He's a big player. He's a big talent. I just hope we can keep hold of him.
And what's your score prediction against Town?
Prediction for Saturday. Throw everything out of the window. Throw league position out of the window. Throw form out of the window. Throw player form out of the window. It's a Yorkshire derby. It's going to be low scoring. Grit, blood, thunder. Be a 0-0 or a 1-1. Hopefully 2-0 Sheffield United.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers, Johnny, mate. That was really, really good. I mean, he sounds well happy with how it's going, to be fair.
Yeah, it's becoming a theme, this, isn't it? We chat to other fans about yeah, it's going on well.
The thing that got me that I'd forgot that they did, they put 5 past Burnley, didn't they, just before the break?
Oh, right, yeah.
When's the next
forgotten about that. Yes. Oh God. Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, lads, who knows? Like, there is another game on Saturday. Maybe we should all focus on that. In good times, maybe. I completely forgot about that. Oh, that's going to be fun. Right, okay. Let's take a break and then let's come back and think why we could win this game. Okay, cool. So we've had a break. It's time for the mailbag.
You've got mail.
Hopefully, the questions will make us feel more positive, except maybe not, because the first question is from one of our fellow pod colleagues, pod members. What would you call him, Tom?
I'm trying to think of a pun, but I can't think of anything at the moment.
Podman,
yeah. Pod people. You can't say podman anymore.
Oh, don't be this guy. Yeah, can we go back to the time where I could say horrendous things and not be challenged on them? Anyway, we will. It's from Richard Kosmala, a man who, to let you in on a little secret, listeners, has been constantly messaging the WhatsApp chat during the World Cup, and I have enjoyed his takes, and I have also said we could beat France, which he disagrees with me on, but who knows what you might find out after we've listened to this. Richard Kosmala, he asks, how pathetic will our following be on Saturday? Far be it from me to fall out with one of our pod persons. I look, like, if you're going to the game, that's amazing. Like, I think, I'm not going to the game. It's 33 quid. It's December. It's, I just can't, like, I've got other things going on this month. You can be like, oh, you're not a proper fan. But I have no issue with someone who can't, like, who's not going to the game on Saturday. It's a lot of money. It's £33. It's going to be a lot to travel to get there. If you do go, absolutely, congratulations. Like the town away fans, they're a credit to the club. You know, they make a lot of noise, make a lot of atmosphere. It's great. I don't think it's going to be. I mean, I could be wrong. I feel like it might not be a big away crowd, but I feel that's on Sheffield United. Like £33 a ticket to go there. You know, it's times are tough, so I have no issue with fans who don't make the trip. I again don't want to go into the wider point, but like football should be more affordable. You know, we have the cheapest season tickets in probably in the league. You know, there is other clubs like I think Reading who do the £20 a ticket. Just make it a bit more affordable. I get it. Like you want to have a lot of people going. I also think results do come into it. We're bottom of the league. You know, the World Cup is going on. I wouldn't be surprised if it's such a low following, but I personally don't have an issue with that. If you do, fair enough, you're entitled to your opinion. Tom, what do you kind of make of
it? Yeah, £33, December. It's still 3:00. I know, like a lot of I know it's probably too late to change it at this level, but I know a lot, like Conference and all that have pushed most of their games back to 1 because of England. Mate, it's probably I'd say you'd be good if you got 800 there on Saturday, given the circumstances. You see, it is really interesting, isn't it? Away following to a town, it's so peak and trough. We don't go when we're not playing well, and I'm one of them who does it. I could have gone to QPR the other night, and I was like, yeah, and I should have in the end. I think that's the annoying thing. You never know, do you? But the way Town are playing away, you do know. What was Cozzy's question? How pathetic will it be? I mean, we'll make noise. That's the beauty. Even when the small numbers, they'll make noise. Even like how many were at QPR, and you could hear with Town fans. So that's the one thing. But numbers wise, yeah, I think football's got to be more affordable. The away tickets, the one good thing about the Prem was that they had the cap, weren't they? But I think you can't be charging more than £25 to an away fan. I don't think.
No, I agree. And to be honest, Cozzy, you're going, so you just got to shout twice as loud. So that's my throwing down the gauntlet to you, mate. But no, like I say, if you're going, like absolutely fair play to you. But I can completely understand if you don't. But yeah, there we go. Okay, let's move on to another question that's probably going to annoy people. Again, asked to remain. Didn't want the name to be said, so we just got a question from a stranger, and they said, topical, but what do you guys make to the sort of Thomas stuff with his comments about England? Because I know some fans were getting annoyed. For me, well, Tom, you shrugged, so you go for it first.
I don't care. Maybe that's because I've got quite a bit of Welsh blood in me anyway, so I'm a bit like sympathetic to the Welsh. I quite like when they do well. No, whatever. It's fighting talk, innit? I think that's what Wales have thrived off of their recent success, is being that kind of underdog and thinking they can beat anyone, especially after that Euros run and stuff. So, I honestly don't care. I don't get why. It's not like he's gone out and had a go at Town, is it? He's just said that they think they can beat England, which they didn't they? That's the risk of saying stuff like that, is you can look like a right twat afterwards. So I wasn't annoyed by it at all, though. Like, I think fair play to him. He's embracing his Welsh heritage.
Yeah, I mean, how dare he? He's from London, but he has Welsh heritage and his mum's Welsh, so like makes me sick that he's from London and he's saying that stuff. No, like I'm with you, mate. Like it's just funny, isn't it? Like I think it's one of these where like it's a story out of nothing. Like gets asked a question, he says something stupid. Like I don't know. People have got to remember England are the big bad, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Like we're the.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want people to.
Most teams want to beat England. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Most teams most countries don't like England, do they? To be fair, it's like, I mean, you've got to embrace that. It's quite fun actually, especially when you're doing well as well, because then you can lord it over people even more.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just football banter, isn't it? Essentially, like just on an international stage. I suppose some people were saying, "Oh, but he's playing in the English league, like he's playing for an English club." But like, I don't know. It's not that deep. Like, it's just got asked a silly question. Like,
Yeah.
say it's not like, "Oh, I really want to beat England, and the club I play for is English, and I think they're shit." Like, it's not said that. Clip that, and then we can get a little bit of controversy. But
Brady,
like,
you don't go to Leeds or Bradford because you hate them so much, do you? Do you know what I mean? I totally get that point. You can't just because you say something. He wasn't even a hateful thing either. He's just having a bit of a laugh on it. But yeah, it's not that deep, is it?
nah. But given how this season's going with some Town fans, I'm sure there'll be another thing with Sorba Thomas that we can all pretend to be outraged and hate him about. So,
Oh yeah.
we'll look forward to that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's funny, isn't it? I don't like. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. We'll leave it. We'll leave it. I think that's it. Yeah, I don't
It
think
will
we're
be
going to get.
to see if he gets a weird reception next time he plays there.
Do you think?
It would be interesting. I'm just saying it'd be interesting to see if he did or not.
Well, I think it's kind of low key. Like, it might get. I don't know. It's not like it's like Ronaldo Rooney and he like winked to get Harry Kane sent off or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? We don't speak for the Town fan base, so like I don't know. Maybe Poz is already going to boo him. Oh, actually, you're a booing expert, Tom. Hang on, before we move on, quick. Did you deserve a booing as a certified booing expert? Yes or no?
On a scale from Town fans, no. From opposition fans, I'd say fair. That'd be quite funny.
Yeah, I also get the feeling like if other teams booed Sorba because of it, I feel like that would only work better for us. I feel like he'd probably be more determined to score and shush them. So, yeah, go for it. Cool. All right. Well, it was a little bit light in the mailbag this week. I think that's because everyone wants to watch the World Cup. But do send us in your questions if you've got any, because if we're doing this, you're going to have to help us out. Right. Okay. It's time for You're the Boss, Tom. So, amazing elbow lovers. No amazing elbow this week, just because he's too busy. There's been a lot that's happened on that pitch. But anyway, you're the boss. So the lineup for the previous league game against Swansea, that 29 days ago, it was a 3-4-3. So you had Nichols, Lees, Hellick, and Mbete. And then you had Kesler, Hayden, Kasuma, Rudoni, and Ruffles. And your front three of Sorba, Rhodes, and Jackson. Tom, I suppose we're looking at like changes and who you bring back. So what I would say as well, just if this helps like give people an insight, in the friendly against Olympiacos, they played two teams, so 45 minutes, a half each. But the starting lineup for that was it was Bilikapic, but I feel that's just to give him some minutes because obviously we know Nichols is going to start, but it was a 3-4-3 as well, and that was Hellick, Lees, Jackson in a three, Spencer, Kasumu, Rudoni, Ruffles, Holmes, Warden, Tino. So what would you go for, Tom? Do you think that gives any insight into what Fotheringham might play?
Possibly. I think Tino up top, anywhere in that attack. I'd even throw Tino up front as like where Rhodes or Ward could go. I'd be throwing him up there because he's going to cause a bit of chaos and he's can score goals. So he's someone that I'd maybe just throw up there anyway. I like that he's back. That's good. That's good news, isn't it? It'd be interesting if Thomas is slotting in yet, or is he going to need a bit of time, maybe a little break or something? I don't know. He only came on against England, didn't he? America, USA.
Yeah.
So he should be fit. Then I guess you're hoping that. I mean, what you doing with that back three, Brady? That's the one thing. Lee's Hellick, and I mean, who is it? Who would it be?
I mean, are you going back three though? That's the question. Like, you could play back four potentially. Well, yeah. To throw my question straight back at you. You're asking me questions. I'll ask you questions.
Lee's and Hellick in the middle, Ruffles on the left, and then Jackson or Hayden on the right potentially, something like that.
Well, I suppose the question is like, do you think they should go more defensive for
Yes,
this? Right. Okay. So
I'd
they'd probably
be-
play back three then.
I'd be basically playing for a 0-0.
Right. Okay.
I'd be playing the 0-0 and then hope you take a chance. That's what I'd be doing against these lot. Frustrate them, get them on the counter. Imagine Thomas and Tino on the counter. Some pace there.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, is Hogg back yet? Hogg was training, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's his birthday as well. So happy birthday, Jonathan.
Oh wait, you can't sing that, can you? Because you've got to get the licensing for it.
Oh, right. Okay. I thought you were going to do one of your cancel jokes. You can't sing happy birthday anymore. Not allowed to have any fun more. Anyway, sorry. Well, Holger wasn't in the Olympiacos game, so I assume he's not going to start or be involved. So, what are you going for then, Tom? You going for a back three?
Here we go. Nichols.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm doing that back four that I just said then.
Okay.
I'd be going 4-4-2 probably.
Okay.
I don't know, Brady. Football Manager, am I?
It's been how many? 22 episodes this season, and we've broken Tom. You're the boss. I'm not a football manager. Why do we do this?
Right, Nichols, Lees, Hellick. I'm going. I don't know. 4-4-3 because then you drop it back to a 5, can't you? I don't know, Brady. What you choose?
Okay. Well, I got the new football manager, so clearly I think I know a lot. No, I think 3-4-3. I mean, yeah, side point, but on Football Manager, I've sold most of the team because they've crap. So let's ignore that. But what were you saying?
Are you Town?
Yeah, I'm Town, mate. Yeah, I got to the playoff semis with that team. I mean, I got a lot of good loanees. So anyway, lost to Burnley 4-3 on aggregate in the semis. But we go again. Anyway, for this game, this actual game that people care about, I'm going to go Nichols in goal. I'm going to go 3-4-3. I'm going to put Hellick, Lees, and Mbete in there because I think Mbete was actually quite good against Swansea, and I think with Hellick and Lees, he'll be okay. And he's a little bit quicker in it than those two. My wide men, I'm going to go Jackson, and I'm probably going to go Kesler Hayden, I think. But Spencer, have him on the bench, maybe switch it. Middle, Kasumu, Kamara, and then my 3, I would probably depends on Sorba, doesn't it? But if Sorba, I would start Sorba if he can. Wardy, because I think he'll do running. I think we'll just, like you say, play it defensively, and then I would probably start Holmes because I think he's quite good as a defensive winger and would help support Jackson. And then I think give Tino, if it's still 0-0 with half an hour to go, I think give Tino half an hour and try and nick it. That's what I'd do.
Yeah, fair enough. There's players in this squad. I'll say that There's players in the squad that should be able to do stuff. You've listed a team there, and I probably what I kind of touched on. I wasn't putting them in my starting lineup. So come on, lads, pull your fingers out.
There you go. Wise words. Tom, what are you going for then? Score prediction?
3-0 Sheffield United. I take a 0-0. No, we'll go 0-0 as my positive prediction. 0-0, but I'm not looking forward to it.
Okay. Wow, I'm so when we do the Watford preview, we need to bring more enthusiasm to this because we just sound like we cannot be asked. And I'm keeping this in because we can be bothered, hence why we've done this. I'm gonna go 1-0. I think marksmen, hey, Fozzie's side. I think they might actually surprise us, and I think it'll be like I say, I think it'll be a weird one because like we've had the break and we don't know, and we might catch them on a bad day. So I think a draw, and that's the thing. Like just pick up points away from home. Our record's so bad; it's the worst in the league. So I think a draw. You know, this is it, isn't it? Like try and not lose your away games, try and win your home games. That's manager advice there. But we will see. So we've both gone for draws. That's it. No amazing elbow, as we said. And yeah, I think we'll end it there. Tom, anything you want to say to the listeners before we shoot off?
We'll bring more energy next week. Brady, what I suggest I'm going to do is use the code AHTTC10 and order some Magic Rock for our next episode because that always makes it a bit more positive once we've had some special sauce down me gullet.
Down Tom's gullet, and it could be down your gullet if you use that code and you get 10% off all online orders. And yeah, thanks to Magic Rock for sponsoring this. Thanks to Tom for coming on and having a slight breakdown when I asked him to do a formation. And thanks to you, the listener. We will be back. We will be a bit more in the groove, and England will probably lose to France on Saturday, so we won't be distracted by the World Cup. So you will have our undivided attention. And that will do it. So ta-ta for now and up the town.
Up the town.
So town play up, bring the car back to Huddersfield.